Hey, deserving listeners, sister wives, Dr. Kirk Honda, keep in mind that everything I say is completely speculative, based on very little information. Keep that in mind. Let's watch.
Oh, I got a bomb. Yeah, I got a bomb I'm dropping today. Yeah,
Wow.
You'll love this one.
Let's do it now.
I picked the dress.
Do the groom. Did you really?
I picked the dress. And we went to Lisa's bridal, and Robin and I went and looked at dresses, and she picked one out, and I was like, holy cow, it's like I'd seen it in my dreams, you know?
Thanks, that's just nice to do.
I think it's important. I don't think that it's fair that I not be involved in it.
When is the groom ever involved with the wedding dress?
All right, so there's been a lot of footage of wedding dress shopping that I haven't been reacting to. Yeah, it's fine footage, but nothing really for me to say. And now he's saying he chose it, and I'm also wondering how Robin feels about all this. They inserted a clip of her looking like she was upset, but I think that was shenanigans to some extent. I don't know, maybe Robin is upset about it, but Christine, she's upset, and yeah, she's oh, thanks. I guess I can't really relate. It's what's the difference? Ultimately, Robin. Well, I don't know. I don't understand the landscape. How does Robin feel? Because if Robin wanted him to choose, seems like she is the one that should choose. And you can imagine for Robin, this is just one possible narrative. There are many others that she's thinking, I don't know which one I want to pick. And it's also possible that there was some kind of emotional thing going on because, all four of the sister wives were looking for dresses, and maybe Robin felt like she couldn't make a decision on her own. Maybe she wanted to make the decision on her own, or she didn't like the input she was getting, or she was feeling pressure. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities. And then when her future husband says, oh my God, that's the perfect dress. That's the dress from my dreams. Then she could say like, well, I wouldn't have chose this one, but because of that, I do want this one. So I am going to choose that one. But the way that he's framing it, he chose it when maybe she chose it. Now, maybe Robin didn't really choose it and he forced it on her. I don't know. Because for Christine, if I were Christine, I would turn to Robin. I'd be like, so is that what you want? Because ultimately that's what I want. Instead of, I want to be a part of it, because maybe Robin prefers it this way. So hopefully they'll ask Robin.
Yes. Like you cared what I wore at all on our wedding. That wasn't even, you didn't even care.
So then I wonder if there's some other underlying thing going on, which makes sense that there would be. Does Christine feel like she's getting less attention during this wedding? It was a while ago, but maybe Christine is like, wait, so now you care? You didn't care what I wore when we got married. Is this a sign of things to come? Is that what's happening?
It's not cool.
Kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really emotionally involved with any of the dresses, but it's just weird.
Can I be done, please?
You don't have to do this way.
I need you.
It's not very.
I need a couple of minutes, please.
Okay, so Christine is now leaving the interview, which is fine. I'm still curious how Robin feels. It's her body, it's her dress. Is this what she wants? Are they protesting because of... I didn't hear anything from Mary. We heard from Janelle saying that she just thinks it's culturally weird. And you can imagine Janelle feeling like she has to have some solidarity with Christine on some level, but I think Janelle ultimately just didn't really care about the whole thing. Janelle seems chill about a lot of things, honestly, or they're just not focusing on her. I don't know. But Christine is upset. If I were there, I would say, tell me more. What's going on? What's the basis for this? Because certainly, I think for Cody, he didn't predict that she would be upset, so...
Take some time if she needs it. It's okay.
Yeah, for me, I felt betrayed because it was like Robin was all very quiet about what her dress looked like. And then all of a sudden it was like this thing that we had all done together, like the women. Right,
that's what I was wondering, that it had to do with their relationship with Robin. And yeah, I guess you could see this as, and this is why ceremony and rituals are so important, because they bring into focus intention and what will likely happen in the future. You know, if we just look at a wedding, you have the two people, their families come together, and sometimes there's even a candle lighting that lights one candle, or you take sand and you combine, it's just very, it's symbolic of we're combining these two families. It's an intention. You as the couple are announcing before everybody, this is what we intend, and look upon us now as a unit. Just all those things. And I want everyone to acknowledge that we are a couple, and we acknowledge you as important people in our life. There's a lot of messages. It's not just some formality, depending on what you want to do. But for them, it was, and maybe it was a tradition for the three of them previously, that several elements of the wedding planning was a way to define their relationships with each other, and that the wedding dress ritual ceremony, and maybe they didn't explain that enough to Robin. Maybe they were thinking, or they had conferred, the three of them, or it was just something in the back of their minds, but wasn't really fully understood until now, that for them, the wedding dress solidarity as a group, and maybe if Robin said, I want this, and then they would have all been on board with that. I don't know what the dynamic was, but that's why it's important for ceremonies to be defined, and typically they are culturally, and it's like before a wedding you have a rehearsal because you're wanting to define things, and of course there's variation to it, and of course it can be oppressive, obviously, but I say all this because I wonder if they feel, it sounds like they feel, the women, the three original wives, feel like this is setting a precedent, that Robin isn't really a part of their group and is, different and maybe more special, or the beginning of their bond is being challenged. Now, for Robin, it's going to be weird anyway, because the three of them entered into the family within the same few years, and Robin comes a lot later. She comes in with her own kids. So maybe they were hoping, this is, it sounds like a conflict, but if I were there, I would have a version of this conversation, and I would want to get people to think about how they want to navigate this. And for Robin, she might not have known that this was a landscape, and maybe she's like, oh my God, I want that. I want that solidarity, and I do want that group. I want to feel like the four of us are together and bonded, and we're together. Is there something else we could do? Because the wedding dress thing is in the past, and I kind of flubbed that, or I wanted it to be this other way. Is there another way that we could bond? Maybe a person getaway, or spa day, or we all get the same shirt, or I don't know. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. So I remember as a kid, the adults in my life would talk about how the older that they got, the faster that time moves by. And I even remember as a kid, when I was like 10 years old, thinking that when I was younger, time moved more slowly. Now, there are a few reasons for this phenomenon, but one of the reasons seems to be that the older we get, the more we fall into a routine and we stop really paying attention to our lives. Well, of course, therapy can be a wonderful place to slow things down and give us a chance to focus on things. Generally speaking, therapists are pretty good at creating a space for us to do that. And sometimes it seems like we need that outside influence to get us to slow down. Well, one place you can find a therapist is BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, it's definitely worth giving a try. So take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/Kirk today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Kirk.
And then here's Cody saying, oh, well, it wasn't really for real. Like, it took me back, obviously. It was really quite funny because you were so excited. You're like, I have something to tell you.
It is interesting that they're identifying Cody as the bad guy. I wonder, though, if this is a triangulation, that they're, at least in part, angry at Robin as well, because she was the one who could have put the kibosh on this, I assume, unless it's true and they all understand that Cody like imposed his will on Robin.
It's going to be so exciting.
It wasn't funny. You look like an idiot. Sorry.
It wasn't funny to me either. It was actually something that I had to ask him, not to share with anybody. For the sake of sort of protecting both experiences, I didn't feel it was necessary for you guys to know that.
So Robin is like, Cody, now maybe Robin wasn't clear, maybe she'll clarify, but if she was, this is a betrayal to her. And yeah, the way that Cody disclosed all of this, he seemed like a child, like I have a secret, I can't wait, I gotta tell you, I chose it, without considering the landscape. I have to say from the outside, what's the diff? It's just a wedding dress. I don't know. It's just me. But to them it matters, and to a lot of people it does. So this is interesting. Yeah. Now, there are ways to repair for this, right? What's done is done, but there's a way to repair. And of course, it means so much more than just the dress. So let's see how they navigate it.
I just want to say I'm sorry. Because I got excited about something and it was just stupid. I mean, this is just one of those times where you just do the wrong thing.
Okay, that was good. I didn't know he was capable of that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're editing it, but yeah, that's good. That's a good response. He could be more specific and say, Christine, I'm sorry. I just didn't know. I should have known that this mattered a lot to you, and I'm stupid. I'm sorry. More direct, but he's essentially saying that.
I can just put it in a nutshell. Every woman is insane. Every man is in fact an idiot. At times, a guy can be a different kind of an idiot, but also.
I'm not gonna. You know what I'm going to say that. Yeah. Well, of course they have traditional notions of gender. It all just comes back to that Ash seminar with the boxes and the waves and it's all ridiculous. It's all based on oppressive, patriarchal, cultural notions of gender. Women are insane. They're like emotional and men are just stupid, like Homer and Marge. You have this nagging wife that's never satisfied, and you got this bumbling man-child going through life, blah, 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 blah. And no, that's to reduce 8 billion people on the planet. 4 billion of them are like this, and the other 4 billion are like that. It's ridiculous. It's nonsensical. You can certainly have that as a way that they want to narrativize the 5 of them, but to attribute, I'm not a bumbling idiot, and my wife isn't insane.
What makes our dynamic more insane is that in one moment, Cody can be a different.
And the way that this supports the patriarchy is obvious, right? That you as a man can do whatever you want and just claim you're an idiot. And if you're a woman dealing with a man that is mistreating you, you can say, well, that's what men are. They're just grown boys and they're just stupid. Boys will be boys, and that's just the way that it is. There's no way to change that. And if you're a man and a woman is asking for something, equality, then you can say, well, women, they're hysterical. It supports the patriarchy. It's obvious, right? It's obvious.
Different kind of an idiot to each one of us.
This has been sort of painful. I mean, to sit here and I'm like feeling all.
Now, I keep wondering what's going on in Robin's mind, because this whole wedding dress thing is completely dependent on how she feels. She's not participating in this conversation. She seems actually to be increasingly upset. I would imagine, I think what she would be saying if she were honest, or if someone asked her, is she would say that she wanted to have a group dress shopping experience, but she actually really wanted to choose the dress more independently, maybe. And when Cody, said that he really loved one of them, that was a big deal to her. And so it was her choice to let him choose. Or she, both. She wasn't really interested in having the three other women decide for her. Because, the other women are older than her by like 10 plus years, right? So she could feel like this little sister, even like a child. So maybe for Robin, she's like, I kind of wanted to just make some decisions for myself, which you could imagine, right? Some people are like that at weddings. It's like, this is a special day and I want to have some independence. I'll take input, but I don't want to be bulldozed because of course, for the three women, they're very bonded and understand each other. She feels like an outsider. She could feel like her vote matters less, even in her own wedding. And then Cody bulldozed her. So I don't know, this look on her face doesn't look good.
Almost numb.
Sorry.
I guess I could be less of a chump and more of a man.
You can step it up. You've chosen this. We've chosen you. We expect more. You do have what it takes, and that's why we chose you.
They want more what? What do they want? Have they edited it so we don't understand? If I were in the room, I'd say, what are you asking him to change? For him to not be a chump? I think what Christine is asking is consideration. But how does Robin feel?
And I need you to step it up because you can. Okay?
Wait, something significant is happening. Did I miss something? Let's rewind.
At times, a guy can be a different kind of an idiot, but also what makes our dynamic more insane is that in one moment, Cody can be a different kind of an idiot to each one of us.
This has been sort of painful. I mean, to sit here and I'm like feeling almost numb.
Yeah, I'm just taking note of Robin's face this entire time. From the very beginning of this conversation, as soon as it took a turn to this topic, she does not look comfortable. So I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
I guess I could be less of a chump and more of a man.
You can step it up. You've chosen this. We've chosen you. We expect more. You do have what it takes, and
either they edited out the context or there's some understanding that is happening because they probably have a lot of inside context that is only known to them, or this is just some weird way of communicating some confusing thing. I don't know. What does he need to, what's the change? What is the stepping up? I mean, I guess explicitly it's don't be a chump. But the way he described it, he saw her put on a dress and said, ooh, that's the one from the dream. Let's have that one. And Robin said, okay. Now, maybe Robin was like, okay, but maybe Robin was also like, okay. And so how is he a chump? Where's the chump? Plus, if do they believe they're standing up for her? Because her face doesn't look like that's what's happening.
That's why we chose you. And I need you to step it up because you can. Okay?
I will say that they're going through a major transition in the family, obviously. And whenever groups, systems go through transitions, we have distress. Sometimes it can be happiness and, there can be a lot of joy and optimism about the future, but there will be some distress. And also, we will tend to regress to some extent. We'll tend to rely on old tapes, old behavioral patterns that we tend to fall back on dysfunctionally so. And I don't know, but it's possible what we're seeing here is the whole system is going through this transition. There's a lot of anxiety. They've talked about that. They all want it to move forward. At least that's what they're saying consciously. God knows what's really going on, but there's a lot of trepidation. And what might be happening is either he volunteered to scapegoat himself by being stupid, or they need him to be the stupid one, the one that is the wrong one. There are other more mundane examples, like if as a couple, whenever you go to a social engagement of some sort and the two of you are nervous about the social engagement, there's people you don't know that well, the two of you might have a pattern that shows itself in that moment. Like one person tends to ridicule the other person in front of other people. And that is just a pattern that happens because there's a lot of tension and you don't know what to do, and you tend to regress and you tend to rely on things to help you get through it as a matter of habit and pattern. So I don't know if we're seeing that right now. But I hope someone just turns to Rob and says, like, how do you feel? Is that the dress you want? Do you want a dress? Is that the dress you want? Forget about what Cody said. Is that the dress you want? Also, would you have preferred us all choose together, or was that something you wanted on your own? Just what do you want, Robin? And I guess one of the messages that could be said, that could be communicated right now, and the precedent that's being communicated or established, is that Robin is an outsider and doesn't really matter. She's not a part of the conversation. It's her freaking dress, and at least in the edit, no one is involving her. She should be the one that is spearheading this entire conversation, but it's all about the 4 original family members, And so is this a message? Is it a manifestation? Because I think what they would want on paper is that Robin is a fully fledged member of the group and has all the rights and is included and has a voice, but that's not what we're seeing right now.
And I will step it up too. It's for you too. Promise. I will step it up.
Step it up. What? I wish I knew. Step what up? And then she says, I will step it up too. I need you to step it up, and I will step it up too. And Robin, I'm going to step it up. And then Robin says, me too. Okay. And then Janelle's being chill as usual, and Mary looks like she's dissociative as usual.
All right. Please be forgiving.
Please be patient.
Okay. This is a good time to make a request if anybody else has, because I am saying yes.
All right, well, that does it for that episode. I want to give a shout out to those YouTube members who were at the highest level. We have Ed Blankenship. Thank you for being a highest tier YouTube member. We have Lamia, or probably Lamia. Thank you for being a highest tier YouTube member. We got Nils Carlson. We also have the House of Smooshy. The House of Smooshy. We have Dramenster. We have the Clearfield Vlog, good old Clearfield Vlog. The Clearfield Vlog will often have a super thanks. Thanks for that. And good old Fernando. So those are the highest tier YouTube members. Thank you so much. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.